Usually this is what I wear day to day, this plus the utility belt. For special occasions like protest events or special events of some other sort, I'll pull out the full superhero gear, which involves the bracers and gloves and a cape. And the cape, I've got to be honest, the cape is inspired by Superman. I grew up as a Superman fan. Some people don't use capes when they're real-life superheroes because there are safety concerns, but mine has a Velcro attachment so that if something does tug on my cape, it just pulls away. So that's how I get around that. And since it is kind of impractical, I don't wear it every day, but I do wear it any chance I get for special occasions. And that to me, you know, it has mostly the symbolism of just the superhero, general symbolism. And the gloves and gauntlets, they do have some practical use, but mostly it's the symbolism of strength and symbolism of action. You know, I've got this green of the hearts that's inspired me, and then the gauntlets symbolize the actions that I'm taking. And the boots really symbolize that as well, you know, going places, doing things. It's all part of one comprehensive costume.
Are you ready for the end of the world? This is Your Community Spirit, the show about caring, sharing, and preparing for the changes needed in the world as we know it. Let's bring back the circle again. Circle of family, the circle of friends, the circle of being. Wake up and be healthy and therefore wealthy to the peace and joy of Mother Earth. This is Your Community Spirit, coming at you live, local, and in your face here on WDBX 91.1 FM, community radio for Southern Illinois.
Well, obviously not, right? Because I was first. No, I wasn't.
Yeah, my radio show, it's called Your Community Spirit. I've been doing it for about 10 years now with my my friend Ord Energy Man Beck.
I started the show in '99 when it was the end of the world. That was literally my theme song. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. And so just carried that theme on.
But he's been doing it for longer than I have. We've both been doing it for over 10 years, and I originally came on as a guest on the show to talk about the environmental work I was doing. And he invited me back, and I eventually became a co-host.
Our friendship, it's been kind of interesting because we both kind of grown together at the same time. We're both extremely shy, and I would say probably because of the radio show, both of us kind of came out of our shells. He was like me when I first started the radio show. He's a couple years behind me in the growth process. I'm a little older than he is. But like when I first started doing the radio show, I got asked to come in there, and I didn't talk for the first couple months. And Treesong was the same way. He kind of came in, he had input, but he didn't really do much talking.
One comment.
A million signatures as one comment.
Yeah, that's pretty tricky. That's interesting math, Dave. You know, I was on math team in high school, and there's something a little suspicious to me about that.
Just a little.
Yeah.
It's government math. Come on.
Well, I've read about a few real-life superheroes, and they seem to be really into the whole crime-fighting thing on a street level. And Treesong, on the other hand, finds that a bit ridiculous. He thinks it's a little bit silly and arrogant to think you can dress up and go stop people from committing crimes. He's more focused on what he calls the real criminals, you know, corporations, people that are polluting the planet, corrupt politicians, you know, the people that he sees that cause the big problems that results in the little people committing crimes, you know, things like that.
Well, it starts actually when I was in preschool. My mom told me this story that when they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I said I wanted to be Superman. And they said, well, do you want to be like, we mean like a firefighter or a astronaut or something? And I said, well, no, I want to be Superman. And I think part of that may have had to do with the circumstances I grew up in. We grew up kind of poor, you know, a working class family. My mom was a single mom for a while when my parents split up. And I got bullied as a kid. You know, I tend to think that has a lot to do with my origins as a superhero. I got bullied. I had to protect other people from bullying sometimes, but I myself was the victim of it. And it taught me a lot about what people who are suffering go through, and it made me take that very seriously and have a sense of justice. So eventually, you know, for a while those were two different paths. I liked superheroes as fiction, and then I started getting involved in activism work when I was a little older. But then eventually the two converged when I found out there were people who were real-life superheroes who combined the two. I also grew up hearing a few examples of sort of superhero ideas. For example, there was this guy called the Fox in the Chicago area. He was an environmentalist, and he would go and do he would leave letters for companies that polluted the Fox River, and he would sometimes take the pollution from the river and bring it back to the company headquarters. And when I was a little kid, my mom would talk to me about these articles in the paper that she read about that. So he was, in his own way, a real-life superhero because he adopted this persona to protect the Fox River. I told my mom that she could still call me by my original name, which was Justin Patrick O'Neill. Since she carried me for 9 months and raised me for 18 years, she could call me, you know, whatever she liked. But she did sometimes call me Treesong and sometimes called me Justin. And other people too were pretty friendly about it. The director here at the center, for example, he would sometimes forget and call me Justin, but he was the first one who started calling me Mr. Treesong. Yeah, I chose the name Treesong actually before I knew about real-life superheroes. It was when I became involved in my activist work, and I knew that I wanted to change my name to reflect my environmental activism and the effects that it had on my life. So the name Treesong actually just came to me. I still to this day don't know exactly where it came from, but I did think it over, and I actually went out to Thompson Woods here on campus, and I sat on a stone by the agriculture building to meditate on the name. And I asked myself if Treesong was the right name for me. And when I asked that, the wind blew through the trees. And I thought to myself, okay, this is the proof I need. This is the name for me.
Treesong's even gone way beyond what I was doing with the radio show by creating, 100% personality that he lives it all the time.
Well, I started going by Treesong in 1999. I hadn't started working here yet at the center. I was still a student doing environmental activism. And then I changed it legally in 2002 after I had worked for the center for a while and then had switched to a different job. And I changed my name in 2002 so that it would be reflected in my license and legal name and all that. Then it was back in, I started working here again later in 2010. Doing technical work, and eventually became program director.
Maybe in '98 I started coming. Guy House then was called the Interfaith Center, and I felt that it was one of the few organizations that actually did like interfaith work instead of just talk about it.
Yeah, the Guy House provides a very special kind of meeting place. It's a place where people of different cultures, different religions, different backgrounds, different beliefs can all meet each other. We can eat dinner together, we can have meetings together, we can work on peace and social justice issues together. It's a very unique place in Southern Illinois, and really there's not all that many places like it in the world. It's run by people of different faiths and people of different beliefs. And it's amazing to me to see such diverse people come together and do something so community-oriented. Yeah, tonight is the Rice and Spice dinner. It's an international slow food dinner. The basic idea is that people come here together and they cook food together, they eat it together, they do the dishes together. It's the opposite of fast food. You know, fast food, you come and you get your food in less than 5 minutes and you just rush and eat it. But this turns food into a community experience again. And it started back when in 2009 there was an inland hurricane here in Carbondale, and the entire town was shut down. The roads were blocked, the power was out, and people came here to eat food because there was still gas here working.
So people brought their food here, and for a solid week, people were cooking here. They didn't have another place to cook.
And they liked it, so they did it again the next week, and decided to call it Rice and Spice. Started having international themes.
People come here for the sharing of food, not just the eating of food.
So it's a really good dinner. It varies how many people we get, 20 to 40, maybe even 60 people. It's a good opportunity to try different kinds of food, meet different kinds of people, and make a lot of community connections. Yeah, they're just finishing up the Rice and Spice International Slow Food Dinners. Those are dinners that happen here every Friday at 6 o'clock. They're dinners that celebrate a different country each week. They also celebrate the slow food concept of eating. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. This is a wonderful turnout. It's good to see everyone here. This is the Spring into Action party for Gaia House. This is a fundraising party. We are glad to have all of you here to support our programming. If you haven't already donated for coming to the party, you can show up to Tabitha over there. She's got wristbands for people who are coming here. She sends me if I spring a leak. She meets me out on Adams Street. She defends me a trucker's dream if I ever did see one.
If Carbondale needed a superhero, he would be it. He's given lectures, he's given works, he's talked about balancing energies and healing. He's done workshops on all kinds of stuff. He's encouraged people to share their knowledge and their philosophies and their traditions here. And he's done a lot of really great work.
He said that for him, it doesn't matter what people want from him or expect. He knows that he's doing the right thing. And he said he chose it one day as a random thing to see who would pick up on it. And he said that he went to conventions for it, and he loves doing what he does now. He says he enjoys seeing everybody smile and getting to see the joy from everybody that he encounters.
A couple of times we have cooked Indian meal here and for the Rice and Spice on Friday nights, and he has helped us a lot, and like in terms of helping with the kitchen and stuff. And then when we had the festival, then he let us have the house and use it for, like, he gave us access to the house over a week in advance, and we could have it like the whole day, and it was really very good of him to do it. I think he's really very supportive to international people and like students like us.
It seems like he just decided one day that he wanted to make the world a better place and just never stopped, which is really admirable.
We had a conversation earlier about how helping people shouldn't be a chore. You should want to help somebody that's in need, that you should want to help them with open arms no matter what. And for him, that's his life. He chooses to be who he is, and he amazes everyone. I
sort of did, when I started out in this, not all superheroes do it the same way, but I sat down and said, all right, what is how do I define myself as a character? What are the qualities that I have? What's the costume that I'm wearing? And what's the mission that I want to fulfill? And so I actually sat down and took some time considering that. And yeah, that's what I came up with.